In this second lesson on payslips, we're going to look at the payslip again, but more actual numbers and how calculations are made. So on the payslip here, we've got gross pay on this side, and this is what I want to concentrate on first. Your gross pay is everything you get before anything's been taken off, basically. So this payslip has got a basic pay of £287. We've got overtime of £92. There could be bonuses or other things added in here, and the gross pay is the total of this. So add all this column up to get your gross pay before anything's been taken off. However, as I mentioned before, there are things to come off, and these are called deductions. The tax you pay, the national insurance contribution, your pensions, and any other deductions that might come off to unions or anything else. So these need to be added up as well to get your total deductions. Now, your net pay is basically what's left over. That's what you're going to get into your bank account and what you can spend. You can probably see that you take the deductions away from the gross pay, and that gets you what you've got left over. This is what you get. So that leads us into how to calculate different aspects of your pay slip. So your gross pay, what you want to do is add everything up there, overtime, any commission you might get or bonuses. Your deductions, you also want to add them up, your national insurance, your pensions and your tax. These are the bad things that come off. And to get your net pay, you take them away from each other. That's your take-home pay. And that gives us a formula. To get net pay, it's gross pay, take away deductions. Quite an easy formula. Now you can get mixed up quite easily between net pay and gross pay and which one's which. I always think net pay is the one you catch. So if you were out fishing and you had a net, you would catch the fish in the net and take it home. So this is the one you're actually going to get, the net pay, and I imagine a net being used to catch it. Okay, let's do some calculations. I'll do some easy ones with you and then a hard one to finish. So the first example, calculate John's net pay if he earned 19,000 per annum, so per year, and had deductions of 4,760. So I would write the formula out first. So net pay is gross pay, take away deductions. The gross pay is 19,000, and if we take away the 4,760, there's your answer. That's what he's getting to take home, the 14,240. Okay, on to the next example. So Jenny has an annual gross salary, that's a yearly gross salary of £34,500. She pays deductions in the diagram over here. What's her net pay? So there's a wee thing we have to do first here. We're going to have to add all these deductions up before we take them away from our gross salary. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to add all these numbers up. Just do it in your calculator, and you can do a sideways sum if you want, but that comes to £7,578. So to get our net pay, again write the formula out. Gross pay, take away deductions. Our gross pay was 34,500, and we want to take away all the deductions, and you'll get 26,922. So after our income tax, national insurance and pension come off, that's what she had left. Okay, finally on this page, Alan had a monthly net wage, that's different, it's telling us the net wage of 1532. His deductions were 467. Calculate what his gross pay was. So if we look at the formula again, you have to subtract the deductions from the gross pay to get the net pay. So the gross pay is the bigger number. So to get our gross pay, what we have to do is add the two things together, 1532, add the 467, and you'll get an answer of 1999. Okay, finally a more complex problem to solve. Now when you get a complex problem like this with lots of different bits of information, I always think it's all about your layout and your setout, your working, that helps you to get to the final answer. So I've got gross pay, deductions and net pay, and I'm going to work through each one. So let's have a read through. So Sarah worked as a firewoman at £15.80 per hour for a 35-hour week. This week she worked 8 hours overtime at double time as well. She also had to pay some income tax, some national insurance, and 9% to her pension based on her total wage. Calculate her net pay. So there's a lot going on here. Now I'm going to first concentrate on the gross pay. So I've got these things. I've got the normal weekly wage and I've got the overtime to work out. That would make up the gross pay section. So to get the weekly wage, she's getting £15.80 per hour for a 35-hour week. So £15.80 times 35, just do it in your calculator and set it out, 553. Her overtime, she's getting the same £15.80 per hour, but she's getting double time. We've got to double that, and she's working for 8 hours. So times by 8 and then times by 2, and you're getting 252.80. Now I'm going to total that to get our total gross pay. Just add the two things together, £805.80. So that's what she would get for her gross pay. I'm now going to work on deductions, and if I was setting this out in a jotter, I'd write deductions. Now the first deduction that's a wee bit tricky and I'm going to concentrate on is the pension. Our pension's 9% of our total wage. There's our total wage there. So I'm going to work out 9% of that. So 9 divided by 100 times 805.80, I get 72.52. Our other deductions are fairly straightforward, just look at them there. If we add all these up, so the total deductions, £95.45, £60.23, and then add your pension, and you get total deductions of £228.20. Finally, I can go into my net pay. I can do my formula, gross pay, take away deductions. My gross pay is up here. My deductions are down here. It's nice and easy because I've set it out well. Take them away from each other, and you'll get your final answer of 577.60. Another wee thing to note, because there's so many calculations here, I quite like to double underline my final answer, just to clearly show if somebody's marking it, then there is the final answer. That's what I'm looking for. You'll notice I've done it over here as well. This one not so much, you didn't really need it. You can do it there as well, but see here, so as when you're looking at it, I know that's my final answer.